Hey guys, so how y'all been? I've been good. I've been great. So I actually have filmed this video like 5 times already because I can't seem to get it right. See, the thing is, I finally announced on my Instagram that I have YouTube. So now I know people that I know are watching me. So now that makes me a little self-conscious. So that means I have like 20 videos. I have 20 of the same types of videos on my phone because I can't seem to get it right because I'm so nervous. So yeah, if you're watching me and you know me, hello, how you doing? And yeah, as well as all the information and citations and anything that helped me review this palette for you guys will be in a down bar below. And the palette that I'm gonna be reviewing today is the Anastasia Modern Renaissance palette. So this palette has been under a lot of hype here on YouTube, on Instagram, or any single social platform that involves makeup or anything, to be honest. So this has been hyped up to the moon and back, and to the moon and back 3 times. So yeah, this palette, I picked it up a couple of weeks ago, and lo and behold, I have it here to show for you guys. So I've been using this quite a bit lately, and I have formed my opinion on how I feel about it. And now my door is open. I'm not gonna close it, whatever. Anyways, back to this palette. Yes, this palette is $42. You can get it at Anastasia website, the Ulta website, or Sephora in stores or online. So yes, it's $42, but plus tax and everything, it's $45, $46 around there. So this palette contains 14 eyeshadows, both neutral and berry tones, and I find this palette beautiful. This palette is amazing. The shadows are amazing. I think it's worth the price. I did the math, and each shadow individually is $3, and each little shadow contains 0.02 grams of product, which isn't that much, but then again, no one's really gonna run out of these shadows. But if you do, you're gonna have to buy another palette because these shades are unique to this palette, except 3, which are Warm Taupe, Buon Fresco, and Burnt Orange. Warm Taupe, I believe, is vegan, so just putting that out there. Yes, the single shadows are $12 but contain 1.7 grams of product. So, I mean, I still think that you'll get your money's worth here because, again, you get all these shades and they're really, really nicely selected. Like, they all complement each other is what I'm trying to say. And yeah, by the way, I'm going to be looking down quite a bit because I have notes on this palette that I wrote on my notebook because I want my reviews to be more informative for you guys, because I've been watching Stephanie Nicole a lot lately, and I see how her reviews are very nice and thorough and they're good reviews, like they're just very informative. So I kind of want to be like her, not like her, but like I want my videos to be kind of like hers, like more informative. So she's actually one of the people that helped me. She didn't help me personally, but because of her video, I can tell you guys information is what I meant to say. Yeah, so again, these shades are beautiful. What else do I have to say about this? This has 11 mattes, 1 satin, and 2 metallics. Another thing that I heard about this palette is that this palette's formulation is different from all the other palettes that she has to offer, as well as singles, because she does offer singles. Like I said, the singles are $12, 1.7 grams. Yeah. So, but I feel like even though it's a different formula, I've only used this one, but I really like the formula of these shadows. These shadows are very creamy, pigmented, smooth. They don't fade, they don't crease on me. I'm obviously wearing some of the shadows right now. I feel like this palette itself makes me feel very creative because even though it does have a couple of wine berry colors in this palette, I feel like this is good for somebody that wears neutral shades but wants to transition into colorful shades, because while you think, wow, those are really bright shades, how would I wear them, how would I put them together in a look, honestly, if you shade them out just a little bit, it makes the look completely different, and it doesn't even look like you're wearing like a bam bright color. So if you mix this correctly, if you blend it correctly and stuff like that, it doesn't look like a bright pink magenta on your lids, but instead of like a nice pinky orange kind of shade, like you know when the sun is going down and that orangey red part, that's how the shade looks like on your eyes. So I find these shades very, very beautiful. Also, Anastasia is cruelty free, which is always a bonus, but this palette in particular is not vegan. So these three shades, red ochre, Venetian red, and love letter, they contain carmine inside of them, which is basically like crushed up insect scales to create a crimson color. Now, don't freak out. Makeup isn't the only thing that has carmine. Also, some foods and other products contain carmine. So, just putting that out there. So, it's not vegan, but it is cruelty free in a way. One thing I don't like about this palette is the packaging. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very aesthetically pleasing to the eye, like it's beautiful, it's gorgeous. But the velvet, I don't know if you can see it, like if I have any type of makeup on my hands and I get it on the palette, it's not coming off. Or if I try to like kind of clean it a little bit, it just smudges a little bit more and it gets all over the palette. And while I think it's beautiful and everything, I just kind of find it a hassle to be cleaning it constantly because, like I said, it gets makeup all over it. And even when I try not to have makeup on my hands, somehow I still get makeup on it. So I really don't like the packaging because of that, but it's really, really pretty. Again, very aesthetically pleasing to the eyeballs. It's chunky, but it's because of the cardboard packaging. From what I've heard from Stephanie Nicole's video, you can pop these out pretty easily into a Z palette. I personally don't do that because I like keeping it in the original form because that's just how I am. The brush itself that it contains is, I guess, like a okay brush. I mean, if I have it in the palette and I'm using, if I have it in the palette and I'm traveling and it happens to be the only brush I have at that moment, I'll use it. But if I don't, I'll just reach over for other brushes because it's okay, it's just not the best. So the shades are beautiful, like I can't, they're just so gorgeous, they're so pretty in my can sun please just don't do that. One thing I have to say about it is I've tried berry colors slash wine colors back in my past when I was trying out makeup, and they would stain my eyelids like really badly, like they would just look pinky and kind of irritated. This one doesn't. But for it not to stain, you have to have an eyeshadow primer underneath and then apply this to be able to remove the shadow without it staining. I also happen to use a oil type eye makeup remover, so I guess that helps as well. But honestly, I feel like it leaves no staining other than when I'm swatching it maybe, but like on my eyes it doesn't. One thing I have to say also about the carmine is some people can get like reactions on it because their eyes are sensitive. Well, eyes are already a pretty sensitive area, but they're even more sensitive to carmine. I personally am not. A way to test that out is to basically swatch love letter, crimson, red ochre, Venetian red on your wrist, wait 24 hours, see if you have a reaction to that color, and if you don't, I think it's safe to wear. If you do, I would advise you to steer clear from this palette, but again, it's your choice. If you wanna have red puffy eyes, you know, whatever, choose your battles. But yes, I love this palette for people who, again, want nice, smooth, pigmented eyeshadows, who are neutral wearers but want to get into colors, and this is the perfect eyeshadow palette. Guys, so you're probably like, Tanya, different scenery, different lighting, you have no lipstick on, what's going on? Okay, life happens, and this is my clip 3 hours later. Yeah, I had something to do, and now I couldn't finish it at that second. But I'm back, and sadly the lighting is not so good, and I'm gonna stop shouting because I have a baby in my room. Like I said, long story. So anyways, the palette. I was talking about how when I saw this palette, I saw winter shades. I didn't see summer shades. I didn't see a way I could use it during the summer or spring or something like that, because these shades are dark. These shades are wine, and when you think of cranberry and wine and maroon, you think of winter. You don't necessarily think of summer. But I personally believe like the color red ochre or realgar are beautiful for the summer if you use it correctly. Like I said earlier, if you use these shades in a certain order, you can make your eye look like a sunset, like or a sunrise, whatever. It's beautiful. Like, there's so many possibilities with these. I personally love using this for my cut creases. You can use it for smoky eyes, you can use it for anything. This is very, very versatile. You can go from day to night like this. I am planning to do an eye look from day to night with this palette. If you guys do, if you don't lo hago, pero if you guys do want me to do a look with from day to night, tell me down below and I'll do it for you guys. But yes, I love this eyeshadow palette. One thing I have against is because it's such soft formula, it's such a soft formula of shadows, there's fallout. But it's kind of like my Loreal Pro ones in the sense that they're super creamy and buttery, but as long as you tap off the excess off your brush, you won't have any fallout. So that's completely fine with me. And honestly, the fallout is worth it for how beautiful these shadows are. Like I said, it's amazing. People who are neutral wearers are trying to get into color. So yeah, even though this is my first Anastasia palette, I can already say I'm hooked on these shadows. And if they reformulate the shadows, the single shadows to these, I would probably pick up some singles. I'm glad to say that this is actually a permanent palette in the collection, because most of their palettes are usually limited edition. But this one is permanent, and I think that says a lot. Because, like Stephanie Nicole says, it says a lot, because if they're gonna keep something permanent, it means that they're confident in the formula. So I really enjoy this palette. So I'm gonna go on with the swatches, and I'm gonna swatch it on my hand with my finger. I don't have a brush to necessarily swatch it with my brushes. I'm gonna swatch it with my finger. I'm gonna have no primer on, no nothing, and then I'm gonna wipe off my hand with a baby wipe, as well as I'll clean my fingers and let it out to dry and continue on. I'm gonna swatch 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm gonna be looking down most of the time because I have a description of the shades that each, like I have the individual shade descriptions for each color in this palette that Anastasia had to provide for me. So yeah, let's get on with the swatches. The first one is Tempera, which is a velvety beige ultra matte shadow. The next one is Golden Ochre, which is an earthy yellow ultra matte shadow. Here I have Vermeer, which is an iridescent shell metallic finish eyeshadow. And here I have one Fresco, which is an antique lavender ultra matte shadow. The next one I have here is Antique Bronze, which is a metallic sable satin finish eyeshadow. The next one I have here is Love Letter, which is a raspberry ultra matte shadow. The next one I have here is Cypress Under, which is a dark coffee ultra matte shadow. It's also the last one on the first row. By the way, I forgot to mention this in the beginning, I'm going to be swatching from left to right. Now going down from Cypress Umber is Relger, I think it's pronounced. I'm not really sure. It's Relger, and it's a nice brick ultra matte finished shadow. Here I have Warm Taupe, which is an earthy gray ultra matte shadow. Here I have Venetian Red, which is a crimson ultra matte shadow. That's so creepy, I'm just like The next one I have here is Red Ochre, which is a sienna ultra matte shadow, and it's also my favorite shadow in this palette. Can you see that beautiful color? It's beautiful, it's gorgeous. The next shadow is Primavera, which is a shimmery gold metallic shadow. The last two here are Burnt Orange, is a deep orange ultra matte, and Raw Sienna, which is a neutral amber ultra matte. So they look alike, like they're close to my skin, so therefore you can't really see it that much, so maybe go to the shade. But this one is Burnt Orange and this one's Raw Sienna, and Burnt Orange is more orangey and Raw Sienna is more neutral brown. So yeah guys, I finished with the swatches, and that is my review on the Modern Renaissance palette. Again, I love this palette. I give it a 9 out of 10. The only reason I don't give it a 10 out of 10 is because I really don't like the packaging. But other than that, the shadows are smooth, they're pigmented, they're blendable, they don't fade. It's such a good eyeshadow palette for people who are trying to get into color. It's really good for summer, spring, winter, anything. Amazing palette. Again, I will be citing Stephanie Nicole's video, which is my favorite by far Modern Renaissance palette review person, down below. I'll also be linking down another blog that I found that helped me with the review, as well as I'll be linking down Anastasia Beverly Hills website, as well as linking the palettes down below. I will as well be telling you guys what I am wearing today, the makeup that I'm wearing, and etc. If you guys want to see my face a little more often, I have my social media down below too. And again, if you're coming from my social media, hello, how you doing? And thank you guys so much for watching. Like this video if you guys want to see more reviews. So like this video if you guys want to have more informative reviews, or if more reviews in general, and comment down things you guys want me to review. And don't forget to subscribe if you like makeup or just like this. So yeah guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.